host Warhound Actual, and we're going to get into the issues of the week as we try to do these Friday nights, and we'll get into basically give you our perspective from what's been happening. And I guess we have peace in Iran now. Is that here?
Well, okay. So real quick. So we have peace in Iran. It looks like the civilian government has been able to fully take control, at least on the surface. That's what it's looking like. Which, haha, bitches, told you so. Yeah. I'm sorry. The number of Israelis, and I got to call these little fuckheads out as right from the get-go. The number of Israelis that were telling me that I was wrong, and you know, Halsey initially told me I was wrong about this, but then he shifted that position ever so slightly, and he's been shifting it. So I'll give him credit. He has shifted his position, and he now acknowledges, like, okay, yeah, no, this bifurcation was a thing. The civilian government does actually have power, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. But there were a lot of Israelis that were real fucking angsty with me because, you know, oh, the civilian government's nothing, blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh, nothing. You say, okay, interesting. The civilian government just signed up.
Government controls so many the regular armed forces who we have not seen once in this conflict.
Not only have we not seen them, technically speaking, fighting us, we've seen movement against the IRGC that is way too fucking coordinated. And somebody pointed out, like, oh, the Green Berets are in there. And I'm like, yeah, I believe that. But here's the thing is, who are the Green Berets working with?
Right.
And it's like, I don't think they're working with, you know, civilian cells. I think the Green Berets are literally in there with the Iranian military, picking dudes, forming teams of trained guys that are already fucking trained, and making them better. And they're going in and doing fucking hit jobs. Like, come on. Now, while we also, you know, while we have peace in Iran, which, you know, again, the irony of the situation, like, I love the fact that, you know, all my buddies, you know, everything was, you know, doom and gloom when Venezuela happened, and then all of a sudden Venezuela's over within 24 hours. And all my guys are sitting there like, wait, what? You saw the Discord, you know, I had to beat people upside the head with a 2x4. And then the same thing with this Iranian shit.
Yeah.
Same thing fucking happened over. And it's just like, God fucking damn it, people. Haven't you fucking learned yet? You're going to learn, old man. But yeah, it's very interesting. And now we have a situation with the Strait of Malacca.
So because everything's been so concentrated on Iran, I haven't been able to get into Malacca.
Oh, okay.
Much other than to remember how much strategic significance it is. But
well, if you did not hear, the U.S. and Indonesia just signed a defense agreement, comprehensive defense agreement. So that's 3 for 3, motherfuckers. The Red Sea, Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Malacca. There's only 3 left. Bosphorus, Gibraltar. What's the third?
Oh, English Channel is one.
Well, yes, but no.
And UK GAP.
The Northwest Passage.
Yes, Northwest Passage. I don't. It's not quite open. It's clear yet because, at least for us, because we don't have the nuclear power icebreakers the Russians have.
Canadians, I would be very concerned. We just cleaned up the Strait of Malacca situation. Now Singapore ain't feeling as froggy as they once were. You know, the Asian version of Tortuga. Anybody remember? This is actually the really funny part about talking about Asia is a lot of people don't remember that Tortuga.
Mhm.
What was Tortuga?
Pirate Haven.
Yes, but whose pirate haven was it?
Of course, British.
French, but
Oh,
it was a French city that was a pirate haven.
yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of a different island.
Singapore was a British city.
Mhm.
That was a pirate haven.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna point it out, boys.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, interesting. Now, mind you, I think Singapore probably got told on the back end with this deal with Indonesia. Basically got said, hey, buddy, look, you got a nice military. You got a pretty well-rounded situation for yourself. How would you like to fucking meet the USMC? Oh, you don't want to? You would not like that? All right. So here's the deal, buddy. Because and the reason why I say the Strait of Malacca has been handled is now you have the two sides of the strait that are now controlled by the United States and China. ARC controls both sides of the Strait of Malacca. The Europeans have no control over it. Period. In the story.
Yeah.
So you have peace breaking out in a way that is incomprehensible to the European mind. How David, how does it feel to be an American? Because you can't be a European and think peace is a good thing.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be an American? Dirty little new worlders. Europeans think we're just a bunch of uncouth barbarians.
Well, I was doing a video earlier today where I was reviewing some random funny stuff, but one of them is like Canada and war, and this animated video, and it's showing us like literally taking German prisoners in war and training our soldiers on how to kill them by like in practice. So with the spearhead.
No, trust me. Here's the thing, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about Canada, and this is why, like, yes, in the modern parlance, the Canadian military and the Canadian population is a fucking joke. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I understand that's gonna hurt some feelings. I don't care. Historically, sorry, you guys are 80 to 90 years out of date in terms of your
ferocity. No, I was talking to my stepbrother about this. He's a captain of the Canadian Army, and he said Americans didn't like to work with us in Afghanistan. And I said, "Oh, really? I thought they liked working with us." And he's like, "No, because we'll go into the thing, we'll go in, slit everyone's throats that night, and go home." And they just want mostly the regular army. I know I'm not talking to special forces. And we kind of do it very subtly, and they want to go in there with maximum firepower and kill everyone. And it's like so they didn't like working
so
with
actually us. I'll give you a perspective.
He served there, so he should know.
Well, yeah, I'll give you some perspective from the American side of this, specifically from my grandfather, because he attached with Canadian military elements quite a bit. The problem that Americans have with Canadian military is you guys are too reckless.
Yeah, that would be a good way of putting it.
There is a subtlety, that, the trench raiding days are over, boys. Can we not put ourselves in fucking danger for no good fucking reason? No, that's the thing. From the American perspective, you guys are reckless as fuck, and we hate working with you because of how reckless you are.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting here like, oh, we'll just bomb the shit out of them and preserve all of our forces. Whereas you guys are just wanting to get in there and get out as quickly as possible. Now, here's the funny part. We like working with you guys because you guys actually kill the targets that are meant to be killed rather than the Brits who fucking kill everybody and then cause a bunch of fucking problems.
Right.
So kudos to you guys on that. You actually kill the designated targets rather than just fucking everybody and their fucking grandma.
Yeah.
There's some stories out of Afghanistan specifically. A couple stories out of Iraq, but it's mainly Afghanistan, where the Brits literally were, the Americans would rotate into a place, and then they would establish all the connections, do everything, so on and so forth, yada yada yada, and then the Brits would rotate in after.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time the Dutch got there, because the Dutch would rotate in behind the Brits, the Dutch would get there, and the Dutch would literally be forced to call the Americans back in. This is why U.S. units were rotating in so quickly, continuously. They would have to call us back in and have a joint mission because the Brits would fucking cock up everything so badly that the locals were literally just like, all of a sudden it went from the locals are working with everybody and are cool to all of a sudden they're fucking firing RPGs into the fob every goddamn fucking day because the Brits killed somebody's fucking grandmother for no good reason other than she might have looked at somebody the wrong way.
Yeah.
The Brits, there's some notoriety there with the Brits, and luckily William and Harry did not get caught up in this. Mm-hmm. But the infantry side of the British Army, there's a reason why we stopped coordinating with them. And there's a reason why we started doing separate missions, and they got pulled out of the rotation on many things. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, at least the Canadians, you guys would actually fucking kill the people we wanted to kill rather than just fucking everybody. Whereas the Brits. Mm-hmm. But again, yeah, you guys, you have that opinion, and it's like, from our perspective, it's like you guys are just reckless as fuck for no good fucking reason. Stop trying to get yourselves killed.
Yeah.
Which then the joke that my grandfather told me, he's like, Canadians hate being Canadians so badly, that's why they want to try to get themselves killed in war.
I had a good one. So supposedly from my grandfather. Basically, a young Canadian soldier has captured, this is World War II, 4 Waffen SS soldiers. And he says, the corporal comes over and says, "Wow, kid, you've done really well for yourself. You captured the Waffen SS fight to the death, and you captured 4 of their soldiers." Takes out a machine gun, shoots all the Waffen SS guys, says, "See, they fought to the death." There was a real grudge match, and I learned why when I went to Juno Beach. I knew that they had shot some of our soldiers out of hand afterwards for a long time, but when they took me to the place of execution, and the French guides saying, yeah, and then first they waterboarded the Canadian soldiers for information, and then shot them when they wouldn't give up.
So here's the fun part. Just because you brought up World War II history. Mm-hmm. Do you know you guys got completely shafted after during the push to Khan? Like, do you know the context of like how bad you guys got shafted?
I've read a book on Khan. I'm not too sure what. You'll have to be more specific.
I'm referring to the fact that you guys were basically used as fucking bullet sponges for the Brits. Like they would they rotated Canadian units in, and then eventually Montgomery gets told by Eisenhower, like, "Hey, stop being a fucking idiot and actually just take the fucking city."
Yeah.
And then because the Montgomery was an incompetent fucking idiot.
I keep telling you I don't think so, but that's your opinion.
Well, there's a reason why Eisenhower deprioritized him over Patton. Oh, are you aware of this?
Oh, of course, I'm well aware of that.
Oh, no. Are you aware of the declassified documents that came out like last year?
Oh no, probably not.
Oh yeah, there were some new declassifications from World War II.
They're always doing it. That's why I
Yeah,
was arguing with a friend of mine
Eisenhower.
yesterday about that.
Eisenhower basically had effectively had a come to Jesus moment. It basically told the politicians to go fuck themselves. He was going to prioritize Patton over Montgomery completely.
Mhm.
And then pissed, like, Churchill was fucking furious and tried to get FDR to replace Eisenhower. And then FDR basically said, buddy, do you want to win this war or do you want us to just withdraw?
Mhm.
This is actually what led to Eisenhower getting the fame necessary to actually run for president.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, the Canadians were effectively used as bullet sponges by the British for the push and the con. And then eventually Montgomery got told, hey, take the fucking city instead of being a fucking prancy bitch.
Mhm.
Stop planning for once, actually do something. And then eventually they just bombed the city into oblivion, and that's why it turned into a fucking gutter fight like it was. But you know, I'm just, again, opinions.
Yeah, different people are allowed to have different opinions. Like Monty in the desert is great.
Actually, I'll give you that. Absolutely, in the desert, he was fucking phenomenal. But that's because you have in that environment, you have to be judicious. You have to be. But in a temperate zone like Europe, you don't have to be as judicious. Water resources aren't few and far between. Fuel can get you from point A to point B very easily. You have the infrastructure. You're not driving across the desert in windswept fucking trails that could disappear overnight. It's a totally different fucking environment. So in his mindset, the mindset that he was, the cautious, methodical, absolutely planning every fucking detail, Montgomery was brilliant in North Africa. But as soon as he was in, again, I reference Holland and Operation Market Garden. It's like you needed Patton in that operation.
Yeah.
If Patton had been leading Market Garden most likely would have succeeded.
Well, also, I think
okay, let me rephrase that.
I would have brought Alexander to command the invasion, and after Vermont, he does command the Normandy invasion pretty well. But after that, I would have switched. He should have been the one in Italy. I think that would have been the better move.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, he should. Yeah, no. I'll give you that.
Excel at.
I'll give you that because of how methodical you have to be with the terrain that Italy is.
Yeah.
But no, I do need to add a preface to that. Actually preventing Kampfgruppe Leah from actually doing what it did during Market Garden would have been the other thing. And Patton would have just been like, oh, there's a Kampf group coming in trying to flank us. Fucking hit it with the Third Army. Yeah. Like just hit it with the Third Army. It will die. But that's the thing at the end of the day is that, you know, what we're seeing across the board, and this plays into the modern parlance as well, is we are seeing these different generations of thought that are clashing, and now we're seeing the actual kinetic side of that. The political side, it all bore out during the 2016 administration. Now we're seeing the kinetic side of this. And now the Europeans are shitting bricks because now you got fucking Patton you're dealing with. Like that mother, like, I'm sorry. At this point in time, there's a bunch of the Natsock types like to reference Patton's, quote, I'm afraid that we fought the wrong enemy. He wasn't talking about the Soviets, boys.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about the Soviets. He was talking about the British. He was talking about the French, very particularly the French, by the way.
Yeah.
Because Patton and de Gaulle fucking hated each other. If you're not aware of the strife between those two.
I'm not surprised. Actually, interesting. When I took the Juno Beach tour, the French tour guide, he didn't like de Gaulle at all either.
Well, that's because of how de Gaulle treated Pétain. See, that's the fun part is that like if you go over the scholastic sourcing, Batagne is this vilified figure who, he's the surrender monkey, he's the traitor, he's the conspirator, he's the collaborator, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, why didn't you try him for treason? Oh wait, you couldn't. Because he followed all the French laws. He maintained French dignity. He maintained the decorum that is expected within French politics. And then all of a sudden, de Gaulle, who is the guy who completely upended the decorum and the dignity of French politics, manages to wrestle political power within the remnant that still wants to fight. And the only fucking reason that he was able to do so was because he was backed by Winston fucking Churchill.
Yep.
I would just like to point out, if you look at de Gaulle's writings and you actually read up on him properly, what is he? He's a full-on Jacobin.
Oh, really?
I
never really looked into him too much.
Full-blown fucking Jacobin. Completely and utterly. Would have been right at home in the French Revolution.
Yeah, well, I can see that.
Would have been right at fucking home. That motherfucker was as guillotine happy as fucking Robespierre. But that's the whole point, is that, we're now seeing the kinetic side of this, and what we're really, really like, and this is what I'm truly hoping to see soon. And I'm hoping that it's going to happen because of what's going on in Hungary. See, here's the thing. A lot of people are freaking out about Hungary because Viktor Orban's quote unquote out. And I'm like, here's the problem I have. Viktor Orban has a bunch of corruption bullshit that's being levied against him. The problem is that the corruption bullshit that they're levying against him, it's surface level at best, and it's nonsensical at worst.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, his estate, he's got this $30 million estate, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Where did he get the money? So on and so forth. You actually look into Orban's family. His family has been, they've been magnates in Hungary for fucking generations at this point in time. So it's like, it's no wonder that his family has a massive fucking estate in the middle of the country. No fucking wonder. When you have multi-generational wealth, you tend to accrue the capability to do that. Just saying. Yep. But then you have the fact that the guy who is, presumptively replacing him, which again, whether or not he's allowed to actually fucking run, because, it's the EU, shady shit.
Yep.
He's Orban policy-wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only key difference is that he's quote unquote pro-European. Well, here's the thing though, he's not anti-Russian. At least on the surface. So it's like, there's a few things there where it's just like, well, what if Orban's getting out of the way of something?
Well, there's also speculation he's going to run against von der Crazy.
Well, that's the thing, is that then the speculation about the push against von der Leyen, which I will point out that von der Leyen is considered the Wicked Witch of the fucking West out there. Like, across the fucking board. Fucking Chrystia Freeland is considered the Wicked Witch of the fucking East. Then you've got fucking,
Kaja Kallas.
No, oh god.
There's so many of these crazy women out there.
No. Kaja Kallas. Okay, so here's the funny part about Kaja Kallas. I kind of looked into her. She's the perfect representation of the chick that couldn't do the partying when she was 20. She became a wine mom, and now she's trying to find, that 20-year-old dude that's willing to bang her. She's the personification of that.
Okay.
Like that's literally hurt the vibe. It's the same thing with the bitch in fucking New Zealand.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, if you literally look into some of these people, like literally they seem like they're just so desperate. And it's just like, oh my god, like please, can somebody take one for the team, please? Like, come on. Like
And she's not that bad. I would.
well, that's the thing is like you actually look into these women and you're just like, oh my god, like that's what this is. Like that literally like half a dozen of them, you just look into it and you kind of try to research their private life a little bit. Like Kaya Kalas and then I forget the chick in New Zealand what her name is.
Jacinda something.
Jacinda something, yeah. She's very very much that. Like if I'm correct, she like went through a horrendous breakup or something like that. Right before she got into politics, and like she was getting ready to get into politics, and then the breakup happens, and then she just turns into a complete cunt afterwards. And it's like, oh, you've been deprived too long, honey. That's what this is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was definitely. I was at the provincial convention for the PCs, and I was introducing my friend to this MPP that I knew, and she was a little drunk. But when I was making the introduction, I held out my hand and she gave me a big bear hug. And I'm like, I've always suspected something weird about your marriage.
Well, but that's the thing is like my girlfriend has a joke. She constantly like when some woman woman on Twitter, is acting like a fool and whatnot, she'll literally just be like, look, my boyfriend can handle you. Do you just need some? Like she'll just use that against these different women and they lose their fucking minds instantaneously. It's hilarious. It's so fucking hilarious. It's unreal. Go. Oh, hold on, David.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so hey, I'm glad we have a couple people watching back home. This is kind of my last. I had my fun in the afternoon. We did that Space Ice video, and we had the Freedom Tunes video. I thought that was hilarious with the Hitler, Stalin, Mao all being told that they can't are sitting around a table and playing poker with each other because that's their place in hell. And they're getting removed from the table and being replaced by all these guys, white guys, it's like, who could be worse than Hitler? And Hitler's like, wait, you're going to get rid of me? Who could be worse than me? I'm Adolf Hitler. I can't be left here. And then it just pans over to a group of 20-year-old white guys. That was funny as hell. Okay.
Well, here's the real fun time. Is I was researching. I was just looking at something real quick while I was dealing with my girlfriend. The oil and gas situation in Europe is fucking hilarious.
Yep.
And they have not lifted the orders for the UK, for example, hasn't lifted the potential rationing. In Ireland, they're basically like, there's no gas, there's no oil, there's nothing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even like Ireland's just crazy right now. People are throwing out and targeting the Garda, so they're getting ready for a revolution there, like a real one, I think. Like,
yeah. Well,
they're
and then
at Sri Lanka 2022 there.
Oh yeah.
And you know what the best part is, Warhound?
Huh?
The English are organized, along the same lines. I got it from my friend in the UK. She's like, yeah, and we're unlike the Irish who have a good 6-month stockpile. Our stockpile will last 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, and have you seen France?
Oh yeah, I've heard the fishermen on strike. So France is their national pastime. It's not soccer. It's rioting. Like, oh my God, this is going to go crazy.
Well, and here's the point: is that what places aren't having problems? Greece, Italy, et cetera, et cetera. All the places that the U.S. is working with directly.
Yep.
I wonder why.
Yep. No. We're getting ready to see a big kickoff. So
I'm enjoying it, to say the
Oh, yeah.
least. Especially given the fact that and here's the thing. The overall situation for the US, and this is why I'm really annoyed when I was in the truck at work today, and we had the radio on. Talk show guy, and he's talking about all the different going ons and everything and like that, yada yada yada. And I wanted to call into the show and be like, yo, bud, like, yeah, things kinda are sucky at the very moment, and that's because we're still switching over to WTI fully. Like once the pricing is completely on WTI, we got it. What is it? I think it's October. Is it September or October? I forget. When all the former Brent contracts run out, and then they swap over to WTI, because basically we're doing the same thing with WTI that we were doing with SOFR. And it's like, as soon as the US has pricing of its own fucking oil, it's like, oh, get ready for fucking, $40, $50 a barrel. Like, get ready for that. Like, you're going to see a deflationary event in fucking commodities like you will never fucking believe. And by the way, the Europeans are going to see an inflationary condition from hell, because then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, we can't buy anything because nobody wants to sell to us. Where do we buy things? Because we don't want to deal with the dirty WTI contracts. We don't want to deal with the dirty Shanghai contracts. We don't want to do that. We have to have control of pricing. And it's like, no, fuck you. You're not the industrial fucking heart of the world. The Pacific is now, bitch.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep getting funnier and funnier and funnier from that perspective, especially once we see, and I've got it on some good authority, and I'm still confirming a few things, but there's now a big push because people are starting to wake up to the fact that, hey, taxes are a big fucking problem in the US.
Yep.
Like, and I mean, not the typical, bitching about taxes and then going about your fucking day. I'm talking about people actually pushing. Like, here in Ohio, you got Axe Ohio tax, which is the abolition of property taxes in the state of Ohio.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Right now, the petition is getting filled out. If the petition gets the signatures that it needs, which I cannot wait until the end of April, because then I can get my ID changed to where I am now, because my ID still has my previous address on it. Once I get my ID with my current address, I can actually sign the petition. Because they as part of the petition process, you have to have verified ID.
Right.
Or verifiable
ID. Verified ID for that, but you don't need verified ID to vote federally.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You need an ID in order to vote federally in Ohio.
Okay.
Which is why it was such a big deal that Jefferson County was giving out, IDs to illegals. Anyways, but the point is that what you end up having is that there's a big push to actually start targeting taxes. Actual target, like just full bore, like, no, we're getting rid of this. And, like Mike DeWine, Casey Putsch, who is one of the gubernatorial candidates, they both basically said the same thing. Oh, well, we're going to have to raise sales tax, and we're going to, what about the schools and all that? And it's like, no, fuck you. That's your job to figure out. Our job is to tell you, fuck you, we're not paying taxes anymore.
Yep.
And
Jacinda Ardern, New Zealand.
Huh?
Jacinda Ardern.
Jacinda Ardern. Okay.
Yeah. Just came to me randomly. That kind of happens over time.
But the fact of the matter is that, and I'll speak on that goofball Casey Putsch for a second.
Mm-hmm.
When this dude is trying desperately to challenge Vivek Ramaswamy, which is like, okay, fine, whatever, dude. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But when you come out against one of the more populist positions than has ever come out of fucking Ohio. Ohio is a very moderate state. Overall.
Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a very moderate state. And when all of a sudden there are a large segment of the population, not even a small segment, a large segment of the population, we're talking 20 to 30% that support Axe Ohio tax. I'm sorry, coming out and being like, but my schools, you mean the same schools that have been failing our children for the past fucking 10 years, 15, 20, 30?
Mm-hmm.
Those schools? Excuse me, sir. Go pound sand.
Yeah.
I don't care what fucking platform you want to try to run on. By the way, I've read his platform. On the surface, sounds great. Problem is, that's a problem with Ohio politicians, is that they have a great sounding platform and then they fucking do nothing.
Right.
But it's like, okay, no, this is why we took it to petition. Because we knew damn well you fuckheads weren't going to do anything. And so we took it to petition, and now the petition is almost complete. Mm-hmm. We needed 170,000 signatures for the petition. And last number I saw was around 140 something was the number. So we've almost got enough signatures. Again, the only reason why I haven't signed it yet is because I need to get my ID changed. Mm-hmm. Because I need a current up-to-date ID in order to fucking do it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is it's wild to me that, again, this guy who is trying to run in a more populist position against Vivek Ramaswamy comes out and shits on fucking Axe Ohio tax because my schools. And it's like, bruh. And then
our guy.
Yes.
Okay.
And then soon after that, because the response that he got was so biblically fucking bad.
Yeah.
The response he got was so fucking hilarious because literally like everybody was like, excuse me, sir, are you sure you want to try that? You sure you want to play that card? Are you sure you want to do that? Like, bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
But then he immediately reverses, and now he's like, oh, I want to work with them, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, of course you do, because you realized really fucking quick, like, oh shit, I might have just shot myself in the foot. I'm not voting for the guy, period, in a story. Vivek Ramaswamy, literally, like, his statement on it was, it's a petition. If the petition gets its signatures, I'm going to sign it, period, in a story.
Yeah, that's a Vivek type of move to make.
He's like, if the people want it, I'm going to do it, period, end of story. And I was like, okay, there you go. Yep. I don't like all the other talking points that everybody likes to throw around about Vivek. It's like, fine, cool, whatever. You can have that position. My point is that when the dude says that he's going to abide by the fucking people, that's what I give a shit about. Because mind you, the legislature, they don't get when it comes to petitions, they don't get a voice here in Ohio.
Oh, interesting.
Petitions. So a ballot petition goes straight from the people to the ballot. The legislature doesn't get a fucking voice in it. Mm-hmm. If the people say we're putting this on the ballot, it goes on the ballot, and then the fucking governor just has to fucking sign the formality, basically.
Yeah.
That's it. And mind you, the legislature is panicking like a motherfucker because of this, because they know damn well that without property taxes, they are fucked. And it's because property taxes here in Ohio has become their cash cow.
Right.
You know, like Axe Ohio Tax did a audit. Like there's a group of lawyers that joined Axe Ohio Tax about a year and a half ago or something like that. And they did an audit of all 88 counties of the state of Ohio. Mm-hmm. And they found that, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but the way the guy put it was enough money to run emergency services and something else. And I think it was emergency services at schools is what he said. It was a video that got posted by a guy who's been covering this whole thing for a while. They could run emergency services and schools for 4 years with the amount of money that the counties have in their accounts. Which, by the way, under Ohio law, they're not supposed to maintain money in those accounts.
Right. You should. Yeah, definitely. And most governments just spend their budget. That's
the point. That's the point.
Saving money.
Yeah, that's the point. Is that, the taxes that they collect is supposed to be based off the fucking budget. So why are you collecting more in taxes than what you're budgeting for?
Right.
Oh, wait. Who's embezzling?
Right.
Because I bet you dollars to fucking donuts that if a full-scale audit, and by the way, Vivek has kind of insinuated that he wants to do a full audit of the state. He has insinuated that.
Yeah, good for him. I'm glad to hear Vivek's actually 90% of the way there. I mean, he's kind of fucked up on immigration, but if he can get this is politics. I'm usually getting 60 to 75% of what I want.
Here's the thing with the immigration thing.
Yeah.
Is I don't necessarily disagree with him on the immigration thing.
Yeah.
Because there is one thing that most people don't understand. For example, I'm working on getting my HVAC license. Mm-hmm. It's 4 years of working full time as an HVAC tech in order to get your license. Mm-hmm. 4 years, bare minimum. And that's if you're working full time. Me, it's probably going to take me around 5 to 6 years to get my license. It is literally a case of it can take multiple years to spin up the productive population needed in order to sustain shit.
Right.
Now, extrapolate that out to a massive portion of the productive economy. Mm-hmm. Bringing in temporary workers, for example, like the Hyundai plant down in Georgia, where they brought in a team of Koreans to train the staff there.
Right.
And people got all pissy about it. It's like, hey, dumbasses, you need somebody to train you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm okay with that kind of level of thing. It's like there's some
other at the same time
when they're not when they're flooding us with the low scale wage people.
Well, and that's the point.
Jobs, right?
And that's the point is at the end of the day, it's there's a reason why that's why they worked so quickly and so radically to get the H-1B system cleaned up, so that we stopped bringing in these fucking, gas station clerks and shit like that. And we started actually bringing in people that knew what the fuck they were doing. Oh, by the way, the IT sector was one of the hardest hit as part of the H-1B cleanup. Just pointing it out.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, where the majority of the, a lot of people are still bitching oh, I'm still not able to get an IT job. Yeah, guess what? Because your IT job got sourced out to Canada, you dumb.
Yep. I know a lot of people who are in that situation.
Yeah.
Or call centers are the other one, because people don't like talking to some Indian. So we get our call center, all the call centers moved to Canada, where we can say, "G'day."
Yep. Or it's a fucking, or it's an Albertan that sounds like an American.
Yeah.
But
Depends.
no.
Like the guys around here are serving the East Coast.
Yeah. But no, that's the whole point. Is like at the end of the fucking day, it's like, is he wrong?
Mhm.
Like, please tell me, is he wrong about his position? Oh, wait, you can't because he's not.
Mhm.
Just like how he straight up said he wants to get people actually working towards productive education.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, that's why he called you all a bunch of fucking idiots and finally got your attention.
It's true. Only Trump can get away with that, I think, unfortunately.
Well, sure, but at the same time, Vivek needed to open people's eyes.
Yep.
See, I've actually I'm part of a cohort here in Ohio that is quite extensive.
Mhm.
A lot of skilled guys, a lot of knowledgeable guys. You know me, for
Yep.
example. The simple fact is once I explain that to these guys, because they're already skilled, they already know what they're doing, they're already productive within the economy, they took it as an offense. And I'm like, no. You have to understand, this was meant for everybody else. It was meant to be the kick in the nuts that everybody else needed. Oh, by the way, there's been a rush of people trying to get into electrical companies and welding companies and construction companies and a few other places. There's been a rush of it across the board. Hell, right now I'm working a landscaping job, just filling in the time and waiting until, because we got a massive fucking contract potentially happening. 260 fucking units inside and out. It's going to take 3 months. We're slated for 11 weeks of work.
Good.
So 3 fucking months of just straight work. I've already got my schedule determined. Like, everything's laid out. I know how much money I'm making. I'm getting a massive performance bonus at the end of it, because my buddy is just like, hey, I'm just going to toss you money because I just need to get rid of it. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to make $18,000 off of 11 weeks of work. That I have not fucking made that kind of money ever in my life.
I did it once.
I'm an entry level dude.
Real estate stuff. What happened was I was working for Penske, and I got on a 6-month contract, and they said, "Oh yeah, and if you work out well, we'll give you a full-time job." And then a month in, they lost the contract to what would be now Uber Freight. So at one point, they're like, "Well, want you to stay on until the end of the contract, so we're going to give you 8 weeks severance." This was a 6-month job, and then a couple of weeks later, they come back and say, "We're going to give you 10 weeks severance if you work till the last day." So I basically got paid 10 grand to work 3 days.
Nice.
I know, it was crazy.
Well, let me put it into perspective. So I'm accounting for my taxes, by the way, with this. So real quick. Okay. So real quick. So my bring home. So I've accounted for the taxes. My bring home on that 11 weeks of work, $16,000.
There you go.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting all that. I'm getting a majority of those taxes back anyways, because head of household, one dependent.
Yep.
Yeah. No, the simple fact is that at the end of the fucking day, yeah, like, I'm making a shit ton of fucking money. And by the way, I'm not the only one. Like, anybody who's bitching about not making money right now, they're in the wrong fucking place to be making money.
Right.
Like, there's money fucking hand over fist for anybody who knows where it is and who's willing to seize it.
Yep. No, I definitely heard that from a friend of mine today, where he was like, in 2019 and in the 2020, before COVID hit, I was making more money than I knew what to do with. And
let me put it to this way. So in 20, so me personally, 2019 was one of the first years that I had a 1,000+ tax return. I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized, like, oh wait, like I'm making, I was at the time I was making $12 an hour. Which, you know, for anybody who doesn't realize, $12 an hour back in 2019, that was decent across the board. That was above average for the normal person, especially for a laborer like I was. I was working in the company with my brother, doing cabinetry. So, you know, now he was making 18 an hour as the supervisor. So
you don't want to know what I was making at that time.
Well, I don't care. Like,
well, I was semi-skilled labor, so as a transport planner, I was making like 25 Canadian an hour. So,
oh, there you go. So you're making what, 20, 21, 22 an hour American? Yeah. Okay.
Of course, I was just turning 40, so that was
so fast forward to 2024. All of a sudden, I'm making 22 an hour. My brother has gone private, independent, and is making hand over fist. He's basically making, I think last time me and him talked, he's making around, it was like 45 to 60 an hour, somewhere in that region, depending on the contract. You know, just in general, you know, seeing a pretty big jump comparatively speaking. Now, you know, somebody might be like, oh, well, you know, why the huge disparity between you and your brother? Well, different fucking industries. I was working private security at the time, which now getting into HVAC, as a entry level helper, now kind of a special situation, to be completely frank, because, you know, I'm working with a buddy. Not for a buddy, but with a buddy. I'm actually the number 2 employee in the company. When all of a sudden your buddy is like, "Hey, you want to be partners?" and I'm like, "Sign me up, chief." But you know, I'm making 27 an hour as an entry level helper. You know, mind you, every HVAC tech out there heard that number and just immediately was like, wait, what the fuck? Because most of those poor bastards start around, you know, 20 to 22 an hour, you know, when it comes to entry level. So it's, you know, it's like, oh yeah, no, I've got a good situation going. But by the time everything is spun up and we're doing contracts on a continuous basis, I could be making 45 to 50 an hour very easily. And that's the point, is that if you know where the money is and you're actually willing to put the fucking work in to secure that said money, the money is fucking there, people.
Oh yeah, of course.
It is everywhere. And the point is you just, like, you know, Mike Rowe pointed it out, and he was doing a show earlier. It was either earlier this week or late last week. He did a show where he pointed out, he's like, you do realize that these kids that are going in and getting jobs as fucking electricians and whatnot, that are actually like pushing forward to actually get these big contracts, they're making $150K plus bare minimum.
Yep.
Bare fucking minimum. And some of these AI data centers, because they're getting so much investment, those guys are making 250 plus.
Yeah, I've heard that from the guys on the All In podcast. Yeah, we were paying electricians 350 grand because they're so damn rare.
So that's the funny part about my situation. I am going to, I'm going to be pushing forward with HVAC, but I'm also going to be pushing for electric and for plumbing as well. Now electric is kind of like a secondary thing for me because we already have an electrician as part of our crew. Because we're the way we're structuring things, it's more like a guild rather than a company. We're trying to create a nexus point for a bunch of independent contractors, and one of those independent contractors happens to be on my buddy's wife's side of the family. So, and he's an electrician, whereas we don't have a plumber. So it's like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do that. Start working on that a little bit just to, I know what I'm doing on a basic level, but the intricacies, of the trade, I'm not 100% about, but it's one of my focuses because the simple fact is we don't have somebody to do it. But why can't I do it?
Yeah, no reason to stop you from doing it.
And again, it's the core. It's the different of the core mindset. It's like, motherfuckers, just go do shit.
Yep.
If you're wanting to make more money, go do shit. Like, just be willing to actually put left foot in front of right foot and just keep moving forward, rather than getting stuck doing some corpo fucking data entry job where you're making, maybe 24, 25 an hour, but it's nice and cushy. Yeah, and you're miserable. I'm sorry. I'll say this right now, dude. I am fucking hurting right now. The pads of my feet are in literal agony.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. It's been a long time since I've done anything like you've been doing, but I have done it, and yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, I'm happier than I've been in fucking years because I actually feel productive. At the end of the fucking job, I can look at a fucking yard and be like, nice. It's like when we get a fucking place cleaned up or we get a place mowed or whatever, I can actually look at it and be like, yeah, that looks much better.
Yep.
And then
my father was a roofer and roofing company, and he would just regularly, we're driving by, and he'd be like, I did that one, I did that roof, I did that roof, I did that roof. Like, he could have the sense that he had accomplished things.
Yeah. and that's the thing, is at the end of the day, I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, I'm loving this. And every time, my buddy will send me a picture of a job he just installed, and I will look at that job and be like, he'll show me the before and he'll show me the after, and I'm just like, nice. Like, it's just like, no, I'm sorry, like, your corpo job. Yeah, I'm glad a lot of those jobs are getting threatened by AI. Is AI going to replace a lot of those jobs? No, not yet. We're still 10, 15, 20 years away from that, bare minimum. It'll be 2050 before we see any large amounts of clerical jobs replaced by AI. But I'm glad the threat is there, because it's going to start forcing these people to either adapt or fucking die.
Yeah.
And it's like, guess what, motherfucker? You're not allowed to be miserable anymore. Get working.
Yeah, I should start writing again. Well, I have done a little bit of writing, but I've been taking this time to get as much information into myself.
You're fucking telling me, dude. I got a fucking novel I need to finish, and I haven't fucking got any. I have nowhere.
A novella ready to go. I just have to get her off my ass and relog into this ISBN site for Canada and load it up, and it will be up and running and published. Maybe I should.
Motherfucker, I'm sitting here. I write everything by hand before I even type it out.
No,
okay, so
my hand. I can't do that.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a classic writer. I like writing things out before I type it. Reason being is because I actually enjoy forcing myself to write, because it actually makes me think through things as I'm writing, like how different story points connect and whatnot. And so I got to I'm up to chapter 13, I believe. 13 sounds right. out of what should be around 40, 45, somewhere in that region, for the first book. It's supposed to be 3 books, bare minimum. But the simple fact is like I haven't touched the fucking project in probably about a year now because of my girlfriend getting pregnant and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like I need to get that fucking done.
Mhm.
Like it's a good story. Like I let a friend of mine read it. Like it was like 6-8 months ago. And
Yeah, I dropped a link to one of my articles in the chat, private
yeah,
chat, if you want to look at it.
I will check that out. Looks visually looks stunning.
Yeah, no, I don't do the art. They did the art for me, but
Yeah,
I did the writing.
but I do have an appreciation for the layout and everything. Looks good. But the point being is that, you know, I had a friend read it over what I had, and she was just like, I want more.
Yeah.
Like I want more. Like I want to know what happens here. Like I want to know. And mind you, you know, she's a bit of a Warhammer flunky. And so, you know, she was very particularly piqued because she immediately compared it to Warhammer, and I was like, kind of not really, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, with my novella, I've had one of the people, Owen, wants to do a Southern antebellum story with me, but we need to sit down and hash that out. But he and 2 other friends have read my novella who are my beta testers, and they're like, we want more. And I'm like, it was supposed to be a one and done. So it was just like, I'll have to send you a copy one of these days. Still there?
Yeah, sorry, fucking sorry, some notification.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I like that's the thing is like if you write well, people are gonna want more. Period. End of story. That's how it
Yep.
works. That's
Yeah.
why like given the overall sense of the project so far for me personally is, you know, it's like, okay, once I finish the trilogy, because the, you know, the core trilogy is supposed to be, you know, from point A to point B. But then I'm like, okay, what if I can do some historically notable books, you know, like for example, you know, the book, you know, going back into the Crusades era and doing this and doing that and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. And one of the things that I realized is like I need a shit ton of money in the bank and just be able to take the time off to be able to do enough research.
Yep.
In order to be able to do it justice. Like there's no like one of the key things, like you know, that conversation we were having with Owen, one of my things is that when I get the resources put together, which, you know, if things continue going the way they're going, and if we get the, you know, we get this first contract and we continue getting contracts after that, it's going to start getting to that point. It will escalate quite quickly over the next 2 to 3 years. One of my things is I want to sponsor a fucking priest. I literally want to have like I kind of have this idea in my head where I want to have a family chapel on the property, you know, just nestled off into the corner, you know, just a private little place for my family, but it's a chapel with an attached small house for a live-in priest, and then I can just go talk to said priest about theological shit and just basically be like, look, I'm going to come to you and we're just going to talk a lot. And we're going to go back and forth and we're going to get philosophical and we're going to get fucking theological and we're just going to hash shit out. and I'm gonna if I manage to wear you down enough that you decide I'm fucking gone, I'll find another one.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely. Onus is for us doing wanting to do like another show with us and maybe make it a regular thing where we get together and talk about Christianity and also other world events.
Well, and that's the thing is like overall, like as I've continued developing my plans and developing my overall ideas of where I want to be, especially in the next like 20 to 30 years. Which it's hilarious. Like a lot of people are sitting there like, I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5-10 years, and I'm like, motherfucker, I know where I'm gonna be in fucking 30. Like fuck you. Like I know right where my deathbed is going to be, and none of you motherfuckers are gonna get in the way of me doing that. Like move. But that's the thing is like just every little conversation is a bit of a push in that direction for me personally. It's like it's the reason why I do the podcast, for example.
Yeah,
because being able to sit down with my guys and talk about stuff and be able to keep things in my head organized, because that's one of the main things is being able to talk about things helps me keep things organized. It's why I narrate out loud. People think I'm insane, and it's like, well, yes, thank you. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing. But the point is that at the end of the day, it allows me to collect my thoughts and actually like process information very quickly. Like the amount of information I can process if I'm in the zone, I'm talking out loud, not talking to anybody, talking purely to my fucking self, just full on thinking out loud. And I can sit there and work through shit. Brother, I have scared some people because like I have sat and like one time my dad's shop, we're sitting there and my dad gives me an overall idea of what he wants to do to the shop. And I start just piecing things together. Within 20-30 minutes, we had the full plan fucking developed, and he's now putting it into action right now. My brother actually just got done installing the new hard floor in the shop down south. So, which, by the way, I sent you actually. I sent you a thing on Discord. You should check that out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Is that your phone?
That's my phone.
Wow. And it
Golf
still
ball.
works.
Yes. Funny enough,
wow.
it still kind of works. And it is yeah. High-speed golf ball from a mower. Thank God it wasn't my head.
Oh wow.
Oh dude, it absolutely annihilated the phone.
Yeah, yeah, it did. But wow.
Sorry, I looked over at it and I was like, oh yeah, I should mention that I sent that to him so he can look at it.
Well, I did look at it. I just didn't have the context at the time.
Oh yeah. Friggin' the perils of doing landscaping is when you're working in a yard that's next to a fucking golf course.
Wow.
Oh, dude, I straight up told my coworker, I'm like, hey, every time we go to a house that's next to a golf course from now on, we're going through the yard first. We are not. I am like, you're either mowing it completely before I freaking walk back here, or we're walking through the yard and finding the golf balls because I'm not having this happen again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And mind you, it was funny because he made a comment. He's like, why do you even have your phone on you? Why didn't you leave it in the car? And I'm like, you're the only one that leaves their phone in the truck.
Right.
Everybody else carries their phones on them. Everybody. But yeah, so I need to sit, and I do have a backup phone. It's actually it's also cracked. The screen's also cracked, but it cracked in a very localized position. And I have a screen protector over it, so it can't cut me or anything. I'm gonna try to get a data transfer done on it so I can actually have a somewhat functional phone. I still need to go to Cambridge. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that out loud. Well, whatever. I still need to go down south to visit my dad so I can have him. If I can do the data transfer here, I can take the half broken phone down there, do another data transfer to a new phone that he's got ready for me. And then I can leave this phone down there, let them replace the screen on it, and then I will get it back from him and keep it as a backup. At that point in time, it's like, okay, well, if I break my phone again, I still have a backup. But yeah, no, it's joyous when life is just like, here, fucko, catch this.
Catch this.
and mind you, that's with all of this shit. Like, whether it's the fucking Iran shit or it's some stupid shit at work, like a golf ball flying out of a fucking lawnmower and almost killing me. Yeah. Mind you, this thing ricocheted off a shed and did that.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
That was a ricochet, not even a direct hit. That was a ricochet and a hit with that much force.
Yeah. The first time I really played golf, it was a company golf tournament, and I've been hitting terrible balls all day up to the point. But so my coworkers who were on my team didn't think much. And then I did a thing and it bounced off a tree and nearly hit both of them. And they were like, okay, we're not going to be in downrange from Dave again.
Yeah, no, it's kind of gnarly. My brother, he's an amateur golfer as well. Better than me, much better than me. We both golf. Actually, oh, that's right. I took him in the other room. I was about to say, I'm like, my golf clubs are actually sitting right next to me.
Here's a story for you. My father was a teacher in North Bay or Thunder Bay. I can't remember which one, in Ontario. And he was, one of his students was Neil Young.
Oh shit!
And he said, he says the last time I ever played golf, it was on a course up there with Neil Young, and he scored an 86.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And my dad's like, he was one of those people who didn't like golf, but he did a few years. He had to do a few years penance in North Bay for something that happened when at the University of Winnipeg.
I'm still laughing over the fact that it was a 90, or you said 86?
86, yeah.
86. Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm. Neil Young could have been a professional golfer. He had that talent. But he decided to badly sing good songs he wrote, but badly sing those instead.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, I'm laughing at the fact that freaking an 86. It's like, yeah, dude. You yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Now I remember something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on with Martin Armstrong?
Martin. Oh, I didn't realize something's going on with Martin.
Have you not been watching the fucking crash out that this man has been having for the past month?
I saw some of the early signs, but I haven't seen it right now.
Bro, This
I haven't been able to
motherfucker.
pay as much attention to my X feed because of
No,
I
I
had a
understand.
flat tire and all this other shit that I've been dealing with.
No, I understand. I understand. No, sorry. I saw him post and I was like, oh shit, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to David about.
Mm-hmm.
This dude has been crashing out so fucking spectacularly. Like, just all of a sudden went from being very analytical and very, very fucking, just matter of fact to all of a sudden being one of the most emotional motherfuckers I have ever seen. Like, this thing just absolutely floored this man. And it's been bewildering to watch. And I know for a fact Tom hasn't been able to talk to him.
Oh, really?
Like, at this point in time, I'm like, Tom has not been able to communicate with this man whatsoever. Because if Tom, like, mind you, Tom has managed to get Alex Craner off the fucking ledge.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason why Martin would keep going this fucking hard is if Tom hasn't been able to talk to him. And I haven't seen Tom do a show with Martin, so
yeah. Well, Martin is much big in some ways. Is much bigger than Tom, so I understand. Tom gets his chances when he gets his chances, but yeah, I'm just looking at his feed right now. I'm like, he's so like Iran is winning this. I'm like, how do you figure that out?
I just don't understand, like, why he. Hey, Kelly.
Oh wow, Kelly, you're here.
I don't understand why he has just lost his mind like he has, because again, like, the dude's been analytical as fuck. And mind you, you saw the natural progression of things with like for example, you had Alex Craner, you had Blaine Holt, then you had like you had the usual suspects, guys that we knew would kind of crash out a little bit. And then what I was impressed with Steve Murray, by the way. Steve,
I don't think I'm familiar with Steve Murray.
Lieutenant Colonel Steve Murray.
Yeah. No, now I remember who he is.
Yeah. Cool dude. Crashed out a little too hard over the Epstein shit, and then he finally got a clue and finally was like, oh shit, like, it's the Europeans getting hit by this. God damn. But then you have
Kelly, we have to moderate our presentation to the group in some ways, because some of us are operating at a high level and most of them are not. So when you try to bring up stuff like some of the stuff you have brought up to them, they're not going to get it and they think you're crazy. So because they're not as well, I always try to modify my message to the audience available. And I use my judgment to do that.
Or Kelly, you could just do what I do and beat them upside the head with a 2x4. But that's just me. That's just me.
I've tried to be a bit more subtle about it because Tom says we're operating. Tom says we're operating at 5 sigma levels beyond most people. So when I'm talking to people, I go down the sigma level to which I feel appropriate.
Absolutely. Well, and also remember, it's only a hate crime if you use an axe handle. Sorry, my Italian side is showing. Anyways, but no, the usual suspects, we saw those, and then you had the very, very pertinent voices. You had Tom Luongo, you had EM Burlingame, which EM fucking spot on 90% of what the fuck's been going on. Funny enough, especially on the private side of this, by the way. Then you've got Susan Kakenda, which I adore that woman so fucking much
Yeah.
at this point in time. It's like, thank fucking God. Barbara, I need to sit down and watch Barbara.
Oh yeah, because Barbara comes from a different perspective. So Susan does the domestic and political thing. Barbara comes at it from the intelligence thing.
Yeah, I need to sit down. I need to sit down and watch Barbara. I haven't gone out of my way
Done
to
a couple
watch
of good
any
episodes with Rich.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then you've got Colonel Watkins, which Colonel Watkins I was kind of surprised by. But then I realized, oh wait, this is the crazy bitch that everybody's scared of because she knows all the little fucking intel things. She's the one that would know exactly what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah, and for especially since she was an Air Force Human Resources Director.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, never mind. Like, of course she's not going to crash out over this because she knows all the connections. And it's like,
she pointed out to me that Whitney Webb is part of the PSYOP. I just assumed that Whitney Webb had been lost in the wilderness of mirrors. But when she pointed out that Whitney Webb never mentions Gladio once, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's part of the PSYOP. Like, you can't be telling me all this international blackmail stuff and all this stuff going on, and then not mention Gladio at all. I'm like, holy crap. We were making movies about Gladio in the 70s. You can't tell me you don't think this is real.
Okay, yeah, okay. I was like, Whitney Webb. Why do I recognize that name? Okay, I know who this is. Yeah. I know who this is. And well, yeah, no, and that's the thing is Whitney Webb is complete horseshit. Like complete and utter. There's been several key points that she has tried to push that are very obvious, and she more than likely she's very much part of the Bannon crowd. That's my opinion. I believe that so as Bannon was to China, Whitney Webb is to the whole Epstein thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you got that whole thing going on. But yeah, no, fucking Watkin, she again, crazy bitch that I would not want to run into a fucking dark alley with. No, that woman is psycho, and I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm scared of her. She's also awesome, but I'm scared of her.
Yeah,
fucking terrified. And then who else? Like, and that's the thing is like, there's been these very pertinent voices who have completely sounded the, hey, chill the fuck out for a moment. And everybody stopped and actually stopped running around panicking for just a moment, long enough to realize like, oh, wait, it's not raining. Oh,
you're right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's breathe. Let's all chill out. What the fuck happened? and that's the whole point is that, you know, and again, you know, now Blaine Holt, for example, is, you know, freaking out because of the whole food security bullshit, you know, so on and so forth. The problem
I'm
I have
freaking out about that, but and I've tried to reach out to several people to get the word out, but
well, here's the reason why I'm not concerned about it. Here's the reason is where is that going to be affecting? It's not going to be affecting here in the US. It's not going to be affecting anywhere connected to the US. The New World is fine. The place that is most affected by it is the Old World. Well, here's the problem for, say, Europe. Europe's already in a massive crunch because of fuel. It's not even a fertilizer issue for them. It's a fuel issue.
Right.
Which is even worse than the fertilizer. And then when it comes to Africa, for example, Africa's already a shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Africa can't get out from under its own weight because it's so dependent on external trade.
Yep.
There's no self-sustainability within Africa, period in the story. It's all dependent on external trade, which is the whole reason that France and Britain and the rest of the European powers built it the way they did.
Right.
So until they can start managing shit within their internal borders, enough to be able to reach out to the wider world, Africa's fucked anyways. And I'm going to point this out. Guess what? You're already having food problems in Africa anyways. The harvest is just another fucking brick on the pile.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got the situation with Ethiopia, which is threatening to spill out into the entirety of the fucking Horn. You have the situation with Sudan, which right now the US and Russia are trying to moderate that situation. You have the situation with Rwanda and Congo, which is threatening to spill out into a wider thing between Uganda and all of them. So Africa is already in a shit show. And then, of course, France is backing Boko Haram against Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Okay. So you already have this situation going on in Africa. So it's like, yeah, you can raise the red flag and be like, hey, there's a problem here, but it's like the problems are already there, bud. The problems have been there for months, if not years at this point in time. So what are you really panicking about? And then again, we jump over to China and Asia as a whole. They're replacing their trade with us or with Russia. They're not being constrained by the old globalist supply chain. They're now breaking free and becoming part of the ARC supply chain.
Right.
Remember, we're refocusing the world from an Atlanticist point of view to a Pacific point of view. So, at the end of the day, I'm not that concerned about it. Now, again, you can be like, oh, but the fertilizer, motherfucker, like, I'm sorry, but fertilizer is not that hard to make.
That's true.
It's actually one of the easiest resources, like across the board. All you need is sulfur.
And all you need is poo.
Yeah.
It is.
But that's
what we all generate. Like, it's just.
Well, I'll point this out. Here in the U.S., states are starting to deregulate manure production quite a bit.
Interesting.
Down in South America, they're, like Argentina and Chile, they're working on reopening some of the sulfur mines that they had. Oh wait, a Chilean company, is partnering up with a U.S. company to open a copper mine in here in the U.S. Everybody's freaking out about that because, oh my God, it's gonna affect a national park. Who gives a fuck, motherfuckers?
Yeah, right.
I'm sick and tired of being told we can't be prosperous because my parks. I'm sorry. Guess what, motherfuckers? Teddy Roosevelt's whole fucking thing. We are the future generation that he fucking built that for.
Yep.
Do you understand what the intent was? To prevent us from over exploiting resources back then. Not to, in perpetuity, lock it away and never touch it. We are the generation that's supposed to utilize those resources. Mm-hmm. So stop being a fucking bunch of pussies and fucking drill. Or fucking break the rock. Or fucking farm the land. Or log the forest. Or fucking build the new city. By the way, I'm going to say this right fucking now. When all of a sudden there are 50, 100, 200 new cities that prop up across the Western United States.
Yep.
And we're able to move a good chunk of the population around that's been holed up in these metroplexes.
Yep.
Guess what? Life is going to get a lot fucking better. Actually, you know what? That's something I would love to talk to Suzuka Kenda about, personally speaking. This is just a personal thing of mine because one of the things that I've been really, really starting to focus on is the fact that I have noticed that you look at all these people that bitch online about, the prices of this, the prices of that, et cetera, et cetera. They all live in the metroplexes.
Yep, pretty much.
99% of the people that are bitching are living in the metroplexes. Mm-hmm. They're not living in the suburbs. They're not living in the smaller towns. They're not living in the smaller cities. They're living in the fucking metroplexes. Whether it's New York, LA, Chicago, I'll use, Cleveland, Columbus, fucking Cincinnati. They're all living in the fucking metroplexes. They're all living in these cities that have populations well over 500,000. And the fucking infrastructure is strained to hell and back trying to sustain those populations.
Absolutely.
You look at Detroit. Detroit is the perfect fucking example of this. Because what happened to Detroit? A lot of people don't actually know what the fuck happened to Detroit. All they know is motor companies left and then the city died. Well, no, actually, that's not what fucking happened. The motor companies moved into the suburbs to get outside of Detroit's tax code.
Yep.
Then the people, because now it went from being a 10, 15-minute fucking bus ride to now an hour to hour and a half bus ride to get to work, moved into the suburbs as well.
Yep.
And then what happens? Oh, now the tax base is smaller. A city that was developed to sustain a population of 1.8 million people, all of a sudden is trying to sustain a population of 1.8 million with the tax base of 800,000.
Right.
It doesn't work because now everybody's paying 1 to 1.5 times in taxes what is needed. Oh, by the way, they can't charge those taxes on those people because those people aren't making fucking money because the main jobs, which were the motor companies, fucking left and moved into the suburbs because the city was retarded and tried to raise the taxes on the motor companies. And so the motor companies said, oh, well, we'll just leave. Bye. Oh, by the way, Zoran Mandani, just letting you know, trying to fucking lock people into New York, that's going to go as well as, fucking any fucking, warlord tyrant in fucking anywhere in the world. Hope you got good security, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
But the point is that the Metroplexes, like across the board, I've developed a position that the maximum size that a city can be before it starts getting hyperly inefficient is about 500,000.
I don't know 500,000, but it's definitely in the millions range for me. I see most of the cities in the world are going to collapse unless they are the financial center or they are the capital.
So here's the reason why I disagree with that position. Ohio. Ohio is the perfect example. Ohio did not collapse until after the deindustrialization. It was the deindustrialization that collapsed Ohio. And now that we're reindustrializing, that we're getting back to our roots as an industrial powerhouse, because mind you, we've always been an agricultural powerhouse. Ohio, the key thing that a lot of people don't know is that when it comes to warfighting manpower and foodstuffs, Ohio has been the provider for the Union for the past fucking 250 fucking years. And yes, they even goes, I'm going all the way back to the fucking revolution. But fuck you. I don't care that Ohio didn't exist. 1803, motherfuckers. Let's go. Anyways.
Yeah, no, look, up until 2020, Ohio was the key state. Every president had to win Ohio. And then suddenly, miraculously, Biden wins without carrying Ohio.
I can tell you why, but that's considered, misinformation. Anyways,
Yeah, we can talk about those things now, but I did have.
I know, I'm being a smartass.
But I had a video back in 2020 where I hung out with a friend of mine, and we were only talked about 1876, and we were like comparing it to like, look, we know there's no election fraud now, but back in 1876, and that got after 3 months of being up. The algorithm took a long time to get to my little channel.
That's funny. But the thing is that, you know, Ohio was in the perfect position to industrialize because of the Ohio River Valley.
Yeah.
And then the Great Lakes. And then once the Ohio Erie Canal was built, then all bets were fucking off, motherfuckers. Congratulations, you just activated the sleeping beast, and Ohio fucking surged. Actually, I've committed myself to a particular political movement when it comes to that. By the way, I want to see the Ohio Erie Canal restored to its full operational status. And expanded.
Carney is saying we're going to get the St. Lawrence Seaway up and running now.
Oh no! Like I've been saying for the past, I would say, good 8 months now. Ever since I decided I wanted to, part of future plans. Ever since I decided that I was basing my company, or companies, I should say, on the Ohio River, I have made it a very, very hard point that I want to see the state of Ohio get the Ohio Erie Canal back up and running. And either reroute it or force the cities that are along the canal to give up the territory that the canal is on in order to get it operational. Because, like, for example, Akron, anybody who knows Lock 3 and so on and so forth will understand what I'm talking about. Akron's turned those areas into basically, you know, festival sites. And it's like, no, fuck you. Yeah. These are now operational fucking industrial assets.
Okay, that's fine, Kelly.
But the fact of the matter is that I'm the more that I see coming out of Ohio, the more I realize this is because when it comes to Ohio, you know, a lot of places, they have the one big metroplex and then they have a bunch of smaller cities. That's majority of US states. Ohio is different because we have Cleveland, we have Columbus, we have Cincinnati, we have Akron, we have Toledo, Youngstown to a degree. Now, Youngstown, not as big. It was more of a logistics center than anything. Same thing. Now, Cambridge, a little different, you know, also a logistics center, but also where the majority of Ohio's glass was actually produced in Cambridge for a while. Kelly, they're the Vichy government, or do you mean Vichy after the Germans occupied it? Because the Vichy government prior to the Germans fully occupying France, totally different ballpark.
Yep.
There's a big difference. When Batagne was sidelined by the Germans, it was a big fucking change. Big fucking change. Look into Batagne and actually like read up on Batagne.
Yeah.
Without
Weygand immediately, so after Vichy fell, he started trying to rearm the French.
Yeah, Batagne was a mad lad. Like, you have to understand, Batagne was the motherfucker that basically told the Germans, like, look, you can either let us keep our guns and shit and our artillery. They gave up the tanks. That was the only concession that Batagne had to make to the Germans, was they had to give up the tanks. but they were able to keep their anti-tank guns. They were able to keep their heavy artillery. They were able to keep their small arms, everything. And they pulled what was left of the French army into the Vichy territory, and then proceeded to, go into standby mode. Like, Bataille did not just concede everything to the fucking Germans. He literally forced them into a situation of, you can either take the Maginot Line by force, or you can give me what I want and I'll get them to stand down.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's what fucking happened. Like, Bataille, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's a little late for me. I need to hit the head and get to bed.
Here I am. I'm gonna stay up a little late tonight because I'm not working tomorrow. I'm working Sunday, but not tomorrow. I gotta drive down to my dad's. Again, I'm gonna try to get this phone to do what I want it to do. Again, hopefully, maybe. I'm gonna be really mad if I have to sit waiting for my dad to do a data recovery on my busted phone, because he'll be able to do a data recovery on it, no problem. It's just, I would love to just get everything transferred to this other phone before I go down. So yeah, schedule wise, because I guess I'll just cover this real quick. I would like to get back to doing Friday shows, even if they're short.
Yeah.
The overall problem that I'm having right now is the fact that I am consistently working Saturdays. However, if this contract happens, we're back like Donkey Kong, because I'll be done work-wise by like 5, 6 o'clock. And then I won't be, I'll literally be on my way home, and, we'll be able to do the show live then. So
you too, Kelly. Good night to you.
See you, Kelly. Kelly is the one that was talking to us about shipping and
yeah,
whatnot.
I've done a couple of episodes with her if you want to check them out.
You'll have to send them to me. I would enjoy. Anyways, but yeah, no, I want to get back to the swing of things. The past few weeks have been very gnarly, and it's been good. I will tell you that. Everybody, if you need to lose weight or you need to get back into shape, do landscaping.
Yep.
It's going to suck for the first fucking few days. Well, okay. For most people, it might be a week or two. For me, it was just the first 3 days sucked. But yeah, no, it will kick your ass. Drink plenty of water.
Yeah.
Anyways, David, you have a good night, man.
You too. And it's Warhound and Spy Guys signing off for the night. If you like this, I appreciate the two people who are watching tonight. I'm going to guess one of them is our constant watcher, James, and we'll hopefully be seeing you again in the future. If you like this,